But I guess this is the way to end the album, I guess. They're going to have incorporate all these genres into one track. Are we finally going to get the dooms? Are we finally going to get a breakdown? Or are they just going to go up 8-minute pop song? If they do that, I'm going to be disappointed. But hopefully they don't. No, this is the last one off the album. This whole album has just been nothing but like a pop alternative album, in my opinion. Nothing really too heavy. I mean, they do have some sort of, instruments. They do have some sort of breakdown implement, but it's just a open chord, man. It's just open chord, some grooves here and there, so it's not typically heavy, in my opinion. But who knows? We had that blast beat section in the Caramel song, though, so that one was like the only heaviness part that we got from these guys. So hopefully we get some more of that. Or we get some more of that, like that raspy yell that he did in that one track. Hopefully we get some more of that, because that was very interesting. That was very, very unique. I never heard anything like that before. But, hopefully we get some more of that. We just got to wait and see. But this is the last and final track off the Sleep Token record, Infinite Baths. Let's get it. Strap in, grab a snack, because this is we're gonna in for a long one. So let's get it. Let's go, boys. Last track.
When you plucked me from the ground,
Surprise me.
sound like a supermodel. When I would wake against the cuddle, no lightning in a bottle, just one eye on the target, and 2 bricks on the throttle. I know now that even if I am frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean, the precipice I'm approaching, well, you will empty the darkness, you will keep me in motion. I know now.
Go, boys. Give me something. I've heard this ethereal talking the entire time. Give me something. Make me not fall asleep here. I know you guys got it in you. Give me that energy. Okay, some beat claps. Come on, boys, I'm trying. Give me something. I wanna like it. Okay. Got some instruments. When the jump man feels, he feels good. Let's go, boys. We got 8 minutes. We're not done yet here. Gotta amplify it up at the end here. A little clean riff. Let's go, drum man. I know we're building. Come on, we gotta get the payoff here. Gotta build up to something. Can't build up to nothing. Okay. Here's those screams. You know, the witchy screams. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, break it down. There it is. Where's that been? Where's the breakdowns? Ooh. Oh, chug it up. Woo! There's what I've been looking for. Yeah, play it out. Dun, 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 dun. Woo! Oh man, it's like we're destroying something. We're tearing the walls down. Oh, okay, boys. That's what I want. See, that's what I want. See, you guys can do the heavy. You just don't do it enough. You just don't do it. You hide it. You tease it till the very end. That's probably the heaviest stuff they've ever done on this whole album, man. See, that's what I've been looking for. That's what I've been looking for. But is it worth the whole album, though? I'm going to argue it's not. Because we have to go through all of that filler just to get to that part, man. At least for me, in my opinion, because that's what I've been looking for from these guys. That's what I like hearing from these guys. See, they can do it, man. They can do it. They just choose to do it when they want to. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, hopefully they, you know, do stuff in the future about, like, adding some more instruments in that one. Because I feel like this one is just a little bit too much on the poppy side of things. It's a little bit too much on the alternative. Too much of the mainstream stuff, you know. A lot of subtleness. A lot of subtleness on this one, because I feel like after, you know, the first couple tracks, you know, I was like said, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I've heard this before. It just got a little bit samey in my opinion. You know, it was just kind of, you know, a drag to listen to in my opinion. Just hearing his. But don't get me wrong, though, he has an amazing voice. He has an amazing, you know, talent to him. He has that strength in his voice where he can do the lows, but he can do the screams, he can do the cleans. But I could feel like it was just a little bit too much on the samey side, in my opinion. But you know, he is a talented man. He can do the falsettos. He can get pretty high on some of these tracks, though. He can definitely get on the higher register when he needs to. But when he does the screams, though, he can do the screams, but they just sound muted. They just sound too quiet, man. Like, I can't really hear his screams. You know, everything is just so muted in the background. Like, when he does do the screams, you can't hear him. You can't hear him. So I'm like, what's the point of even screaming then if they're just muted in the background? But I feel like they're hiding the best parts of the song here. But I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is. On the first Sleep Token album, would I listen to it again? Probably not, in my opinion. But you know, there is some ones on there that I do like. You know, there was some catchy ones. I feel like the Greek name one, I forgot his name, Democles. I feel like that was probably my favorite one. It is a subtle one, don't get me wrong, but it is catchier. It is on the catchy side of things. It does have that, you know, rhythm to it that makes you want to learn it and, you know, sing along to when the chorus comes around. So I do like that one. And then there's some other ones here and there that I can get behind. But overall, I don't see myself listening to this again. But you know, they do have that uniqueness to them. I can see why people like them. Just for me personally, they're not my typically kind of favorite band to listen to, especially when it goes to a live show, man. Because if they do this album live, I feel like I wonder what that's gonna look like, because they do have the heaviness in some parts of the astro, but most of the song is just filler. It's just, you know, instrument. It's just like electronic stuff. It's just him singing. You know, it's just him doing the pop stuff. So like the rest of the band is just standing around half the time. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. It's like even the crowd. You know, there's not really much songs to move and groove to. There's a lot of piano stuff. There's a lot of melody stuff. So it's like when you go to a concert, you know, I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep in my chair listening to this stuff. I don't know. That's just me, in my opinion, but I can see the hype. I can see the fan base, like with all these other mainstream pop fans coming into liking these guys and checking out, you know, the metal side of things. You know, like it can open a gateway into them, like in metal. So I do appreciate that, but because we do need more metal fans to coming over from the mainstream, because metal isn't really typically favored in the mainstream. So we can have more the better. The more the merrier of fans coming over to the metal side of things. So I do appreciate them for that, at least. But I don't know. It's just not typically my type of sound. It's not typically my type of thing. But I do know songs in the past were heavy. I knew that EP had some heavy ones on there that I reacted to on that one previous to this album. So they can do the heavy. We definitely heard it in this one at the end here. So it was just, I want more. I just need more of that. So overall on this album, I feel like they could have done a little bit better, in my opinion. Just all the songs kind of felt samey to me. They tried certain things. They tried, you know, implementing different, you know, genres into this album, which I kind of, so you can argue it worked, you can argue it didn't, but to me personally, it's just not what I go out of my way to listen to on the day-to-day basis. It's not what I listen to, you know, when I'm in my car listening to stuff. So, you know, when I listen to music, I want to get energetic, I want to get amped up. You know, music is it's an anomaly in itself. You know, anything can be considered music. You know, anything can be considered, you know, a beat, a melody. You know, anything can be considered. You know, you can make anything. You could just tap your desk and that could be a beat. That could be a song in itself. But like I said, people interpret music in different ways. People like different stuff when it comes to music. So I understand that. To me personally, when I want music, I want some heavy stuff. I want some melodic stuff. I want some metalcore stuff. That's just what I'm into. Especially breakdowns, man. I love me some hidden breakdowns, but which I appreciate the last bit of section of that track there. But like I said, music in its own way. You know, you like it or not. Like I said, in my opinion, this one is typically not my favorite type of stuff. So it's definitely probably one of the albums that came out this year. Probably gonna be my least favorite. But you know, it is what it is. Not hating, just spreading my thoughts and opinions. I do appreciate them. They are talented. They are trying new stuff, which I do appreciate. So I know bands change. I know bands evolve when it comes to their music. You know, people are not going to typically stay the same their entire career. So I do understand that, you know. So, but that's why, you know, a lot of these bands I used to listen to, I don't really listen to nowadays because they changed so much that I kind of fell off with them. You know, Asking Alexandria is one of them, in my opinion, totally. Because I love them from the beginning, I love them from the start, but nowadays they're doing this sort of weird alternative pop thing. You know, not on the level as this, but you know, so they typically, you know, they kind of fell off for me, in my opinion. So my favorite bands, don't get me wrong, I like, and then they fall off for me, and then I don't like them anymore. So it happens. It happens in a way. So, but either way, like I said, just to reiterate it, I'm not hating on them. I'm not saying they're trash. I'm not saying that they're the worst band I've ever listened to. I'm just saying that it's not typically my type of sound. So there's nothing wrong with that. So it's either way. But if you guys love it, all power to you. Not spreading hate, not spreading any hurtful words to you guys. But if you like it, go ahead, go like it, go share it, go listen to it. All power to you. But to me personally, it's not something that I would go out of my way to listen to. But like I said, music is interpreted in many different ways. Love it or hate it, music is always going to be one of my favorite things in my media, my favorite form of media to express myself, and I'm sure it's express, you know, you guys as well when it comes to music. So, but either way, like I said, I love when bands tell stories with music. I love when bands share music and tell stories through their music, similar to, like, you know, especially in the music videos, like that when Landmarks did with their videos, like when they tell stories and storytelling and stuff like that. I like when bands do that. You know, it connects with them a little bit more. But like I said, Landmarks and of this one, I probably like the Landmarks one a lot better. At least comparing these two side by side together, just because I listen to both of them right now. But yeah, man, I like when bands try to do new things. I like when they experiment, you know, because sometimes if you never know what's going to happen if you don't experiment. So that's just the beauty of trying new things. And if they don't work out, well, you know, now you know. So, but either way, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Landmarks and Sleep Token dual album reaction. I know I didn't, the Landmarks one came out a little bit while ago, but I didn't get the chance. I wanted to wait for this one to come out so I can do both of them at the same time, try to, like, you know, so I don't have to do two different streams. But like I said, that has been Landmarks and Sleep Tokens newest released albums reactions for you guys, and be sure to put all the videos up on YouTube as well if you missed up. But like I said, we got some new albums coming your way also still to come, and who knows what other stuff we're gonna get at the later of the year. That we're already gonna get some new teasers for stuff. We're already getting some of my favorite bands teasing some stuff, so hopefully we get some more new stuff at the end of the year as well for you guys. And I'm gonna keep doing these live streams, so yeah, so we're gonna keep it going until the next time, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here, because we're going through this every banger on the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You don't want to miss out on a single one, I guarantee you that. And I'll see you guys